So we're working with an agent that is hopefully going to be providing local service in the Los Angeles metro area. Agent doesn't have zip code lists, however, they do use like Google Maps for determining distances. So they've sent us over a zone that we're going to more or less enter into our system because we need to get zip codes and we need to get GPS coordinates for proper routing as well as assignment of orders into their regional area. So the first we're going to do, take a look at their map. This is the zone that they want to cover. You can tell it's more or less based on highway and areas around the outskirts of Los Angeles. So we're going to start by picking our area. It's a pretty simple process. We're just going to draw some markers that follow the highway system that they've already shown us. So they're coming around the outskirts here, and it's obvious they're going all the way out to just past San Bernardino, down to about Redlands. They're cutting over down to Moreno Valley, back over, and then they're going to come down and pretty much follow 215 all the way into Temecula. Now, once we get to Temecula, we're going to come into Fallbrook, cut over to 5 before they get down to Oceanside, which is a freaking huge zone, and we're going to include everything in between. Now we're just going to let the computer do a little bit of work. We're going to call this, will be California Zone 1 LAX. This will be daily service, which is what the agent has indicated, Monday through Friday. We're going to call this Zone 1. We're going to come down. We now have a full list of all of our zip codes. We're going to update that zone. So once our zip code map has been generated, you'll see that we've got a list of all of the zip codes and their geographical boundaries for the area that we drew out. You'll see there's a large area down between San Clemente and Temecula that does not have a zip code assigned, and that's because that's Camp Pendleton. And there's pockets that you'll find in different areas. These could be new zip codes that have been added into the area, and so all we have to do is come in here, turn on a zip code overlay, and we can kind of see the zip codes that maybe the post office has split or added that didn't get indexed the first time. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come back and we're going to add those in. Once we're satisfied with the zip code boundaries that we've drawn and all of the different zip codes that we've added, it's time to flatten the map. And generally what we're doing here is we're taking all of the coordinates of these individual GPS or zip code boundaries and combining them into one giant flat polygon. It allows the server to index deliveries, pickups, and actually assign service providers much faster. With our compiled flattened zone now of over 500 zip codes for the Los Angeles metro area, we now have the ability to just quickly and easily zoom in and build new zones around this area. So the next zone we're going to build is this North LA pocket around Oxnard, Camarillo, and Thousand Oaks. Once we've selected the zone that we're going to create in this northern area, and it seems odd that we wouldn't include these small zip pockets, but at some point you have to draw the line or you'd have a never-ending zone. We'll wait for the computer to compile that zone, and now we're going to take a quick zoom in to make sure that we haven't left any pockets out. So that looks pretty good. We have one area right here that it looks like we should probably add in. So we'll click that little pocket and go ahead and index that zip code as well. So with a complete northern zip code list now, go ahead and update it and merge that into a final zone as well. And next I'll explain why it's so important that we have master polygons and master zone lists for larger projects and rollouts, it's pretty critical. So there, in a couple of minutes, we have indexed all of the Los Angeles metro area, created zip zones, and we're now ready to talk about the need for master polygons and why excuse me, individual zip zoning is not always the best way to approach large project work. So in this final example, I can explain the purpose for multi-polygons. So in a large project rollout, you might have 7 or 9 locations. If you've determined that you can fit 9 shipments on each truck, if 8 shipments fell within this zone, however, another agent has a overlapping zone, so both agents might share a region in between. And it's important that they do, because if 8 or 9 shipments fall in this zone, and 1 shipment falls outside this service agent's area, however, the other service agent does not have the same volume leading up to that farthest point. You want the system to be able to route all of the 9 orders together for a different agent, although 1 order falls outside of its service zone. To do that, when we index the number of shipments that are being assigned to each agent, the system is going to count the number of shipments that fall inside of any given zone. Now, if it were counting based on zip codes alone, it would not be able to know that those all fell within one greater zone, or if zip codes were split in between 2 different zones, it would make it a much more intensive process for the system to be able to properly aggregate shipments and assign them to agents based on the most cost-effective routing.